Hello everyone, this is Zachary. So, my friend Freya was graduating, and I was like, what gifts should I give them? And I was like, okay, her ultimate group, like, the group she loves the most is Day 6. Like, she's obsessed with Day 6. So I was like, wouldn't it be funny to get her a cardboard cutout of Songjin, her bias in Day 6? And I was like, sure, that sounds hilarious, let me look online. And then I saw the prices online for a cardboard cutout. Oh my god, with shipping, at least here in Denmark, it is expensive. Like, at least $100. So I was like, I won't use that amount of money. I cannot use that amount of money. So I have to do something else. I have to do something else. So I was like, what can I do? I guess I have to make it myself. So here's how I made my own cardboard cutout of Songjin from Day 6, which by the way was super easy and only cost me $2. So, the first thing I did was finding a picture I wanted to use of Songjin. So I went online, I actually went on Pinterest to find first of all, it needs to be a high quality picture. It also needs to be from the front, like eye level height from the front. And the third thing you need is the full body. So you need from the shoes to the head. And that's actually quite difficult, at least for a group like Day 6, where they mostly use instruments. And people at concerts even take the pictures from the sides and not eye level. But finally, I found this picture, which I thought was kind of funny, and I think she would love it. So I chose this picture. After that, I had to remove the background. I actually have a Canva Pro to use my thumbnails and everything, so I just use that to remove the background and only have him. But you can also use tons of different online editors and online websites where you can remove the background easily just by clicking a button. When you've done that at least, and you have the picture without the background, you need to scale it. You need to scale it to the actual height of the person. So what I did was getting a free editing program that, by the way, also can remove the background, which you can also use. It is called GIMP. I got GIMP, then I put the picture into the program, so I had it in there. So the first thing I did was go to the image and scaling the image to the size and the print we have of Songjin, so it fitted him. And then I pressed the picture button, and then I pressed scale image. So when I have the scale image, I can choose whatever I like. If you're in America, you can choose inches, feet, whatever. You can also, if you're in Europe, you can choose centimeters and other stuff. I chose centimeters because I knew Songjin's height was 177 centimeters. So I scaled it to the height to 177 centimeters. So it matched him. So now it's actually scaled. So what I did after this was exporting this to a PDF. And I did that by pressing Save As. And when choosing the name and the location, instead of writing .png, I wrote .pdf, and then it's a PDF file. Okay, the next thing I had to do was print this out. So I went actually to my work. My workplace, I can print what I want in colors. Probably you can also go to your local library and print there, or maybe your school. Other places, I don't know. At least you need to get it printed in color. So what I did there was actually, when I went to the PDF settings to print it, I pressed on the option poster. Because then what it does is takes the actual size and then it prints it all out in A4 sizes, pages. So it prints it all into these A4 sizes. So after I had printed out, I went home and I got it all laid out for me. So I had a full Songjin on my bed in his actual size next to each other. The next thing I had to do was lining these papers up so that the corners would fit each other. When I actually printed this out, I had all of the lines where I had to cut it out first. So the first thing I did was actually cutting out the lines where there was printing marks. So I cut it all up so it can fit together. And then after that, I put them together so the sides fitted each other, and then I taped the back sides together. So when I turned it around, you couldn't see any paper at all. So only the back side was taped together. After that, I had to cut Sungjin out. So you just normally take a scissor and just cut it out all the way around. If you want to cut it out a bit more roughly, then have it a bit more. Then I have a bit more space out, so have a bit more of the white parts with it, but not go too far into him, so you miss something. So go a bit further out if you have to. Then the next thing I did was getting my cardboard. And what cardboard should I use? Well, I chose to get a moving box that I got at my local hardware store. And I got that there, and it cost me $2. That was fine, that was cheap. I actually bought two because I'm kind of sure how much I needed. But I only needed one actually, so I got one. If your guy is like 6'T and they're basically 2 meters tall, then maybe need two. But for at least for Sungjin, they was fine with one. So what I did was disassembling the moving box, put it out on my bed, and putting Sungjin on it. And the next part here, you can do it differently. I didn't have any glue, like a glue stick. You could probably use a glue stick, because if you use like liquid glue, you can see it through the paper because it's only normal paper, right? So you can either need to use a glue stick where you can't see it through the paper if you glue it on, or do it like me and just take normal tape and do a double-sided piece of tape, and then do a lot of those all the way behind him, put it on him, and then slowly from the bottom just squeeze him on that cardboard. And at the end, I had Sungjin on the cardboard, totally taped up, so he was stuck. The next thing I had to do was cut him out of the cardboard. And for that, I actually used a hobby knife. So like a normal hobby knife, you just pull it out and then you have the blade. You can also use a scissor. It depends on how tough your cardboard is. You can also get like cardboard, like just like normal squares and not moving box. Then you probably need that hobby knife too. And if you have other things you can also use that. But you need to cut him out. And after you cut him out, then you have your cardboard cut out actually. Then you're basically done, right? But you also, depending on what cardboard you have, you need to support it and stabilize it. Because the moving box, as you can see, it has like the places where you want to bend it. So it's already bended. So if I just put him up, he will literally just bend over and he will break. So I have to stabilize him. So what I did was taking the rest of the cardboard I didn't use. I just cut it up into pieces and I glued him on. This time I used glue because it's cardboard on cardboard. So I used glue. I used glue to glue it on the backside and then just let it dry. So I have him stabilized, and then I just tested it. I had to use, at the bottom, I had to use 3 layers of stabilizing because it's at the bottom where you need to stabilize him and actually have the thing standing. So you have to have the stands for him to stand on. So I had that at the bottom. I stabilized him a little bit more. I should have probably stabilized him a bit more the head too. But again, stabilize him 1 or 2 times should be enough. And then at the ending, you have to make him stand up, because otherwise, like, okay, you can also have him standing up against the wall, but like, it's more fun if you can stand up in the middle of a room, right? So there's different techniques to do this. And I looked online and normal cutouts have one big piece of cardboard that is like at the center of it and goes all the way up, all the way to the bottom. And you can do that too. But I thought, while I had mine, the problem was he has like the space between his legs. There was a space between his legs. So if I did that, you could see a line of cardboard all the way through, and I didn't like that. So what I did instead was I made triangles at his feet, big triangles at his feet. And I also noticed that my Sungjin, his feet wasn't level at all. So I had to make the cardboard and the triangle way further down so it was level. So I did that, and then I had made some stabilizers again because he had to tilt a bit. So I have to stabilize his leg a bit more. So what I did was making those, I don't know what we call them, like the connectors. You could also do it the other way around, where you just take one big piece of cardboard, like instead of doing it in the middle, then just doing it back there. So you can just put one the whole way down. You can do that instead. Probably way easier, probably way better too, because Yes, his feet and his legs did break, so now he can't stand either way. But again, my gluing was not gluing, like it was kind of broken. I don't know why. Either way, I put that on and I put some extra stabilizers on. Yeah, and you probably need a bit more stabilizer than you realize at the feet. But either way, after I did that, I cut a bit out of the triangle so it was leaning a little bit, so it wasn't like totally straight because then it would fall over because the weight at the head. So I had to make it a bit more like tilted so it could stand back, you know. And after I did that, he was done. He was done and shining. I've seen some people that use tape to like cover up the front. I feel like that looks a bit more tacky. I get why, because you wanted to protect it, but I felt like it looked a bit more tacky and I didn't mind it was just paper. Unless you would like go to spill a coffee or something on him, then he's broken, right? But like, it's probably gonna be that either way if you use tape or not. So yeah, after that I was done, and it had a cardboard cutout. And yes, you can see the edges and the lines of the paper, but to be honest, from far away, it just looks like Sungjin. And real life size too. And it cost me $2. Yes, it did take me approximately 4 to 5 hours, but I also did this from scratch. And I have no idea how to do it. Like, I was lost. So, after you know how to do it, I think it's gonna go pretty well. So I hope you guys are gonna do it too, maybe for yourself or maybe for someone else, I don't know. But at least I hope this guide was helpful. You can do this, of course, anyone. You got to do it with one of your friends. Like, that would also be hilarious to make a cutout of them. But you got to do it with other idols, you got to do it with Thai BL actors. I know a lot of you guys watch me love Thai BLs, so you can also do it around them. You know, it is. And it's cheap and it's easy. Everyone can do it. Literally everyone can do it. I know I had to like figure it out, but anyone can do it. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. You gotta see it from afar. You're gonna see it from far. Okay, of course if you break it totally, it's kind of fucked. But otherwise it's gonna be fine. But I hope this was helpful for y'all, and I hope you thought it was kind of funny at least. And I hope you watch my other videos. I do a lot of reaction videos, by the way, if you didn't know. I react to Thai BL couples, I react to a lot of K-pop, and other stuff like that. And if you want me to react to certain things, or want me to do certain things, I don't know, I've also thought about making 3D cutouts of people, but that's a bit weird. I know, it would be funny to try at least. I've also thought about making maybe outfits for the cutouts. That could be kind of funny actually. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Sakura out!